So what is happening with the Euro USD here as it just goes sideways, which is really just a continuation of what we saw last week. So I didn't have time to flip on the camera today, but I did want to get out a quick video for you guys just to share my thoughts on what's happening here with the Euro and also the latest on the DXY. Now, if you guys do want my help with your trading, I believe there should be a little bit of time left by the time I get this video out for you to save 80% on lifetime access to VIP. So that includes daily videos, my help with your trading in Discord, plus seeing my trades in real time, and also the course that just launched. All right, so click on the link in the description of this video. If you are on the website though, click on that trading group link and you will be taken to a page to sign up. Okay, so looking at the Euro USD, pretty clear that we have a lack of momentum lately. And this is kind of typical considering that we saw the market, sell off considerably here a couple of weeks ago. So right now, this is pretty unfavorable from the Euro. However, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, and actually, you know what, before we do that, I do want to point out that we have this potential for a descending channel that is formed here. Now, the bottom of this lines up down here with that November 1st candle. So what's unique about this candle back here on November 1st is that we had a long lower wick that was not retraced. So that means that there is going to be an imbalance down here. There is an imbalance down here right around 1.055. So that could be significant if we do get the break lower from this consolidation. So that brings me to the 4-hour time frame. Now, typically, I do not trade the 4-hour time frame, and I also want to make this clear that this is not something that I necessarily will trade just because this isn't in line with the way that I trade. So the way that I trade is typically looking for failed breakouts and those liquidity sweeps on the daily chart. But looking at the 4-hour time frame, what we have here is potentially the market coiling for its next big move. So if I take these two levels off, because the market really just has started to chop around those, and we look here at these lower levels. So first off, we have a trend line off of these recent lows. Okay, so something like this down here. And you can see where this upper level is off of these recent highs. Now, in a case like this, what I would do is I would anchor it off of the closing price from back here. And once I do that, you can see that we do have this area back here. So we've got these lows, we've got this low, we've got this high, and this one. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at right now in the 4-hour time frame, where you can see that the Euro is really just kind of coiling here, tested that support today, and so far it's right there in the middle of that range. So what I think this is going to come down to for the Euro is pretty simple. If we get the market, closing above this level up here, then this would expose this recent low, this pivot right here, right around 1.073. Okay, so a sustained break up here exposes this level. A sustained break below here exposes that area around 1.055. Now, the thing is that you have to ask yourself, is this my style of trading? And also, is the risk reward worth it? And I have to say that if we were to get a break up here, really the risk reward just isn't there because you've got 1.073 just above that mark. So if you were to get it up here, you'd have to put your stop loss somewhere down here in this area, in which case you're looking at a 1-to-1 risk reward, which in my book is not favorable enough. So there are some considerations here, and it really just comes down to how you trade. For me though, I would like to see a break lower. Now, based on the way that I trade, what would be ideal for me would be, instead of just seeing the market close below here like this, what would be ideal is to get a break above here, sweep this recent high, potentially test this, okay, but then fail from up here and close back below. That would give me a failure to trade toward 1.055. Now, one other consideration too that I came across today, and you might even see it here on the 4-hour, is all of these lows through here. So off of these lows, you can see that we have a ton of lows here on the 4-hour time frame. And really, this kind of creates almost a broadening wedge here for the Euro based on the top of this channel, right, that we just looked at, and this lower level down here. So that is one more consideration to keep in mind, that if we do get the move lower and a retest down here, that we've also got this descending trend line as well. Okay, but again, for me, ultimately, the most ideal scenario here would be to see the market come up here, sweep these highs, come back down here, fail below this level here and also this one, and open up a short opportunity for a move down there toward 1.055. But I also like to trade the daily chart. So it would have to be something really appealing here on the 4-hour time frame for me to take that trade. Now, when we look at the DXY, all right, this is what we talked about last week, where you can see that we have this open gap from back here on November 1st, right around 106.88. So this, in my opinion, is likely to serve as a magnet for the DXY to close that open gap. It also lines up with the top of this channel, which we saw tested over here. So at the moment, like the EURUSD, obviously, because they do move inversely to one another, we just have the DXY kind of going sideways here, coiling much like the EURUSD is. So this is a scenario that we've talked about in the VIP group, where I mentioned once the market got up here, that I would not be at all surprised to see the market just go sideways here and then potentially give us a move up here to fill that gap, and then we get some type of pullback. Okay, but I do think this is likely to serve as a magnet, and 105.85 is support right now, where if we were to get the DXY closing below this on the higher time frames, then that could open up downside targets like 105. But for now, what I think is more likely from the DXY is sideways price action here, followed by potentially a move up here to fill that gap. All right, so those are my thoughts right now on the EURUSD and the DXY. Ultimately, it's one of those cases where, unless you see something really favorable, it's markets like this that are just kind of best left alone. And like I said before too, if we were to get a move up here to sweep these recent highs, this, in my opinion, would be the ideal scenario, right? A move up here, sweep these recent highs, maybe even tag 1.073. Then we get that move lower down here toward 1.055. But that really just comes down to the way that I trade. And of course, the way that you trade is not going to be the same. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notifications. Don't forget to, guys, grab your 80% off lifetime VIP access. See the link in the description of this video, or if you're on the website, click on that trading group link and you will be taken to a page to sign up. Trade well out there, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.